Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the next Waifu Wars. I am the president of the Compress Anal Bead selection.
Did you say your name?
Yeah.
I did not hear you
Oh,
say it.
I did not. Druby,
I was like,
Druby,
and I am Iruma's trauma Soberoni. I'm like, why is he pausing?
You're right. I didn't. Welcome to the Waifu Wars podcast. We talk about all things anime, the good, the bad, and the weeb, but not your waifu because okay, no more dramatic pauses. She is trash though.
Yes.
What's going on, Oni?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, Drew?
I'm also doing I'm doing well enough.
Good.
Like in this moment, I'm doing a-okay. I was really happy about the compress anal bead thing, which is why I clearly just forgot to say my name.
Yes, it often happens. I'm so excited for anal beads, I forgot my name.
Hey, listen, listen. For compresses anal beads, listen. It'll make all your worries and other
I
things
feel like that's
disappear.
extraordinarily dangerous, so I will not. We do not endorse
Listen, hello,
compression anal
hello,
beads on this
hello.
podcast.
First of all, I said compress as in the hero from My Hero Academia.
Yeah, I thought through his ability.
Yeah, no, they're not gonna be his actual like no, that would kill
Is he gonna
you.
compress people into anal beads and then they
No,
explode
no,
inside you?
no, no, no. They're literally just fashioned modeled after his beads.
Uh-huh.
Guys, these anal beads are not actually compresses actual anal beads. That's like that could kill you guys. Whether nothing's in it or something's in it, you will most likely die. So how was your Christmas?
It was eventful. How was yours?
The complete opposite. Very, very, yeah, very quiet. I really didn't do anything for it. We were, I think the Christmas Eve were like, let's order out lots of food because no one's gonna be open on Christmas.
Yeah, we just got super drunk. I actually have a story to tell you, but it's not appropriate for the podcast. I'll save it for after the podcast. Sorry,
Okay.
podcast listeners.
Sorry,
That's
podcast
that's the
listeners.
extended version of the podcast that you only get by being my friend in real life. It's exclusive.
Well, I was going to go on and talk about the holidays in general, but I'd rather just rush the end of this podcast so I can hear Oni stories. So with that being said, we're going to start our podcast as always with our new segment this week in anime. Oni, you can go first.
Okay, Crunchyroll is going to be streaming the FGO stage play on December 31st. Since we talked about stage plays last time, I figured this was appropriate. Um, yeah, they announced on Thursday they're going to be streaming FGO the stage Grand Temple Time of Solomon. The stage play will be starting on December 31st at 2 p.m. Eastern, and it's going to be available in Latin America and English-speaking territories, including United States, Canada, UK, Great Britain, Ireland, South Africa, Australia, and New Zealand. So I guess for those of you guys who are interested in anime stage plays, this might be a good chance to just check one out. If you have Crunchyroll, why not? You're not losing anything.
Excuse me. My question is, sorry, I had curry, so I might be burping a lot here. Um, my question is, why on this poster
Mm-hmm.
do I see Gudao and Gurako? That was my main thing. I'm just like, well, they don't exist
They
in
should.
both. They both don't exist. They should. I that's one thing I will agree with you. They should. I just see both of them on the poster. I'm like, I don't think they're gonna ask one to cosplay and then be like, oh well, this character doesn't exist.
Maybe when you start the show, it'll ask you male or female, and then have two different actors.
Maybe halfway through the stage, they'll swap out the
That'd be
MC.
cool.
That
My
would be
question
cool.
was, why does the poster look like a low quality like Japanese cosplay porn video.
What? I think the cosplay looks good. You don't think it looks good?
I mean, it looks about the quality. I mean, have you seen some of these cosplay porns? They got some really good cosplay.
I guess maybe the cosplay is just really good.
I don't know if this is low quality or if the
Except for
cosplay
MC.
porn is just really good. I don't know
Okay,
now.
first of all, the MCs look better than the MCs from the porn. I feel like that we can agree on.
Well, the guys, I guess maybe the girls.
I
That
mean, I never
mosh,
seen
I
the
feel like
girls,
I've
though.
seen that mosh in a porn before.
The mosh. Well, they don't have the shield.
True, the shield is not
And
necessary for the act.
oh God, and God help us if it was. God help us all. But yeah, I mean, listen, I'll take your word for it because I don't even remember the last time I saw FGO hentai FGO porn. And honestly, I'm really sad that that statement is true. That I watched it at all. All right. From my neck of the woods, very quickly. Hunter manga goes back on hiatus.
Oh, that was quick.
Right. Let's see. So according to Anime News Network, the combined fourth and fifth 2023 issue of Shueisha's weekly Shonen Jump revealed that Hunter x Hunter manga is gonna go on hiatus, and with the magazine's next issue. Basically, more Togashi having health issues. But instead, the hiatus is, I think, what they decided to do. It's not going to be a weekly format. Essentially, it's just going to be, from what I heard, is going to just be basically like you'll get it when you get it.
Yeah, makes sense.
May not be weekly, but you'll get it when you get it. Um, but the editorial department said that once they know the concrete details of the manga's return and how it'll be serialized going forward, they will reveal the details in said magazine. So, if anything, it might be like, I don't know, like monthly, maybe to a year. I don't know, something like that. But yeah. At the end of the day, I just hope that Togashi feels better, and I hope Togashi is taking his health into account because that is the most important thing, at least to me.
True.
So yeah. So yeah, feel better, Togashi. Can't wait for the next chapter, which I won't read it anyways because I'll just probably wait for the anime if it ever comes. Um, let's see. This one I picked out because, well, this is something that's near and dear to Oni's heart. Voice actress Aya Hirano claims she still receives death threats from fans.
Yikes.
Uh,
Yikes.
yeah, which is wild.
That should
Now,
happen
for
like a
those of
decade ago. First off, it should have never
yeah,
been a death threat
so
situation, but
you know how Japan feels about this shit. But anyways, for people who don't know, um, in 2010, yes, in 2010, there's a scandal going around from the fact that she was sleeping with her band members, essentially. Like, she was in a band and she was like fucking them, essentially. Apparently, also openly stating her preferences in men on Japanese TV. I don't know what that one's all about. Do you know what that one is?
no. Was that recent?
No, I have no idea. Like I said, I have no idea what that is. I don't understand how that could be bad unless she literally was like, "Yes, I would like men with big dicks."
No,
And
she was
honestly,
probably like, I like tall guys, and they have to do this, and everyone who wasn't that type of guy got insulted.
Yeah, she was like, "I like basically," and then she just was like, said a type of man that doesn't really exist in her life, and then everyone got offended for some reason. Um, but yeah, apparently she still gets death threats when she does anime work. Um, so yeah, and this is a direct quote from her. Although it's been a while since I pivoted to stage productions, when I do anime work, I still get death threats and people stirring up half truths about me. Fortunately, she's never been harmed, and the police appear to be on it. Um, but yeah, excuse me. And then
That
she goes on
sucks.
to say, "It makes me afraid and not want to be involved in that kind of world. But I push through because simply I want to focus my energy on doing a good performance with my roles. With that in mind, would you still say it's your fault for pandering to otaku? I could resolve this issue by quitting anime altogether, but I think that's just turning a blind eye to the problem. That's why I decided to make this post." And then the Emmy News work article goes on to list the stuff that she's done. Uh, I totally did not know she voiced Lucy from Fairy
I
Tale.
feel like we go through this every time I mention Aya
I know.
Hirano.
I like, and I'm sure at some point you said it or we found this out, and then I just forgot it all over again.
Yes, her only two major roles are Lucy and, well, the only ones I remember are Lucy and Haruhi.
She was
And also
she
Konata.
was excuse me.
Konata from Lucky Star.
Yes, Konta from Lucky Star. She was also, oh shit, whoops. She was also, oh, wrong article again. This is also wrong article. Where the fuck did okay, here we go. She also voiced Okachimachi in Agiba Maid War.
Oh,
Do
that's
I remember who
I don't remember who that is, but at least that's
right.
serviceable.
I'm like Akiba Maid War. Like maybe Google can answer the
It's
questions for
probably some
me.
like background character that has one line.
Oh my god, no, she was the panda. She was the panda.
uh,
All right. Um, no, and then she has some lines in Pop Team Epic, but given her, that's very on brand.
yeah.
So yeah, basically, and this is to all my fellow weebs, since I'm assuming that's everyone who watches this. Don't be these assholes going after people because they didn't do something the way you liked it. Like, it's okay if you didn't like it or you didn't like the delivery or the first of all, you shouldn't attack anyone because of that. More importantly, you should definitely not attack anyone with because of whom they have sex with. Like that's like to me this is so wild. Even back in 2010, I it was like I get why it was a scandal because it wasn't even like she was sleeping with one of them, she was sleeping with multiple members, like, and that admittedly, that's messy,
Mhm.
but like, these weren't, um this band wasn't like a Christian rock group, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like like, they weren't, like, going to church being like, "Yes, praise the word of God and something, something Bible, scripture," and then as soon as it's over, they all had an orgy. You know, she's just in a rock band, she just voices anime. None of these have to do with whom she decides to have sex with. So it is wild that people in Japan feel like they're owed her piety, which I think is It's fucking ridiculous. That's so wild. Like the otaku people who are doing all these threads, y'all need to get a life and or a job, respectfully. Go touch some grass. Go sing karaoke. Akihabara. I heard there's lots of games there. Go to a maid cafe. You can pretend those girls are your girlfriend all you want. I just don't think Aya Hirano should fit that. She's just a voice actor. You know? And it really makes me sad that people are like, how are you holding on to a grudge for 10 years? Sorry, 10 plus years. Because it's happened in 2010 and we're about to enter 2023.
I'm just mad
That's
that she
why
had such a good career too. Like she had so many. I'm like looking through her roles now. She had so many great roles.
she really did. Like, it was bad enough that because of the scandal, her her whatchamacallit, her career was essentially went down in like a fire.
Yeah, you can literally see the drop off. Like it's like Haruhi, Lucky Star scandal happens. Literally nothing.
Nothing for like 5 years or more. So I feel like even though I feel like she shouldn't have paid for 5 years of no work, I feel like she quote unquote paid her dues. And I can't tell people whether or not to hire her. But
She's
I'm
still
definitely going to
incredibly young, by the way. She could still like. I wouldn't mind seeing her make like a comeback in anime.
me neither. And also H has nothing to do with like as long as you still sound like a squeaky 15-year-old girl,
I
you'll
mean,
work forever.
well, age does affect your voice.
It does. Okay, well then you can be the one. Like oh, you're now the 18-year-old girl. But yeah, that's wild. It's been 10 plus years. Like she's paid for her dues. It's And while I do think she should make her comeback, she definitely should not be getting threats. Well, she didn't have gotten threats at any point, but definitely not now. Like to anyone, that's what I'm saying. To anyone who is listening to this, and you kind of or like finding some kind of sympathy, that's those cops. You hear them? They're coming for you. No, but on a serious note, yeah, don't do that. Like people are not. They're there to do a job. Let them do that job. If you don't like them because of the stuff that they do, I c- I can't stop you from feeling that way. You can just simply not engage with whatever they put out. But what we don't need to do is, I don't know, send death threats because you're mad that she's not the girlfriend that you were never going to marry to begin with. Like she's not the ideal woman you were never gonna be with to begin with. So yeah, just a word of caution.
On a silly note, she apparently dubbed over a episode of CSI Crime Scene Investigation over Taylor Swift in the Japanese dub. So that's a weird role.
They have a CSI episode for Taylor Swift.
I I guess she was a guest star on CSI.
Sure.
Season
Wait,
9.
was she Taylor Swift's voice?
I guess so. It says
Oh,
because it says her role and this is like the character's role and then like the person who was in the movie in the show, but it says next to it says note Taylor Swift season 9. So I guess she was voicing the actress that Taylor Swift was playing.
sure. Okay. That is that you're right. That is
So there you
that
go.
is
We have a connection between Haruhi and Taylor Swift. I've just made it. There we go.
I guess we do. Yep. Didn't 2022. It's finding ways to surprise me, even in the last 5 days. Oh, okay. Now that we're done with our news, let's move on to our weekly reviews, and we are going to start off with, I assume, is Chainsaw Man.
Yes.
This Chainsaw Man episode 11. Honestly, I don't even know what the fuck's my episode of the week this week. There's a lot of
I agree.
there's a lot of contenders. There's a lot of ups, a lot of downs, a lot of
I'm
it's
leaning
a
towards Chainsaw Man only because I'm indecisive about like the other ones. Uh,
right.
yeah, I'm gonna give it to Chainsaw Man.
Um uh am I gonna make a Chainsaw Man? Girl, I don't know. I'll stick a pin in it. Let's see. But this episode, I will say my favorite thing about it was easily the Future Devil.
Oh yeah, the Future Devil is great.
Easily my favorite part of this episode. We all assumed there's just gonna be some scary, ominous eyeball thing, and he was just it was just a very funny devil.
Just
Like
super chill.
exactly. Um, He's like, "Hey, you want? I need to see your future, so you need to like go inside my stomach." And then I'm thinking, like every time I think something like scary or like wild or gross is gonna happen, he just does something very like funny. Like
He
he
shakes a
actually
lot.
wait, yes, I love. Oh my god, I love the part where Aki puts his head in, and then he just starts like doing his cute little like dance, like, "Oh my god, you're inside me!" Like that was that was very funny. I enjoyed that. Excuse me.
Yeah, so we got to meet the Future Devil. We also got to see a bit more Makima. I feel like Makima is somehow slowly becoming the main character. I feel like we got more Makima than we got Denji in a lot of these episodes.
I mean, you're right, but because Denji's just, he's not like he doesn't really. I feel like he doesn't really drive the plot. Like
He
it's like
doesn't. Like, yeah, Makima
I think he
definitely
does.
drives the plot.
Yeah, Makima and literally everyone but him kind of drives the plot. He's literally just there to like react and well kill
he
devils.
just follows orders, but I will say they are building Makima up to be a pretty badass. What I'm assuming to be is the antagonist. I'm sure there's going to be some point where she just like turns on everyone because that's literally, I would say, foreshadowing, but I mean they're all but hammering it in over your head.
Right.
But
I'm like, is it
it's not
foreshadowing?
foreshadowing if they outright
Like
say it.
right. Like honestly at this point, I want them to gag me by being like Makima is actually like super heroic, like I'm trying to do this for everyone. I need to say the word, blah blah blah, and I just made all those decisions because I had to just be that girl, blah 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 blah.
She seems too cold and calculating. I think she might just be like, maybe like, I don't know if she's necessarily doing it for like the greater good, even though she did give that speech about like the necessary evils, which was really badass.
Ugh.
But it was great. I understand why she has so many simps, including me. But I think she more just wants, like, I think she's doing this for selfish reasons at the end of the day.
God damn it! I'm gonna make this my episode of the week only because I was like, damn, I forgot that whole Yakuza scene. I was like,
Yeah,
oh no,
the
that was
eyeballs.
you're just like, yeah, your boyfriend, da 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 da, all these people. Yeah, I took one of their eyes,
Mm-hmm.
just a sack of eyeballs.
I like how she was like, "We have someone who can return them." I'm like, "How do you know which eye goes to which person?" You see them walking around with like fucking heterochromia.
Like, and then that guy puts his hands on her, and he just dies.
Yeah, add instant death to her list of bullshit abilities.
I'm just like, oh, yeah. And then followed by that whole list, I'm just like, oh, God, she makes my pussy throb.
I'm still wondering what kind of devil she could be, but now that the door has opened, this episode opened the door to a bunch of really weird conceptual devils that could exist. Like,
Yes.
we flat out had the violence devil and the angel
violence
devil.
Right. I was like, the fuck?
So at this point, I'm just like, is Makima just contracted to the murder devil? Is that what?
I'm like, who is whatchamacallit, the what's her? Oh god, no, I just had it. Oh yeah, no, I was gonna ask, who the fuck is afraid of angels? Like,
I mean, I guess maybe you can be afraid of angels. Like in the biblical sense, where it's like, oh, the angels, signal the fall of mankind. I don't know. Fucking could be. I would say it could be one of those. It could be one of those scary angels that's like a baby that has like 100 eyes or something. But
if Chainsaw Man took place in, like, I don't know,
if it took place in the biblical times, the Old Testament,
right? If it took place in like 10,000 BC, then yeah, maybe I would agree with that. But no, that makes no sense to me. I mean, Spider Demon, obviously.
Yeah, that one I understand that.
Right. Yeah, gun or second devil. Sorry, angel devil and violence devil.
Violence devil might be the. A lot of people are afraid of violence.
That is fair. Even, and why does he have poison gas? Question mark. And the shark devil was I feel like the most straightforward one.
It was also kind of cool though. You could like swim through surfaces and shit.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, my stomach felt a little queasy when I saw him do that because it immediately reminded me of Swim Swim.
Oh, good. I'm glad you remember because I was gonna bring that up. I'm like, oh, literally Swim Swim's ability.
Yes, it reminded me of Swim Swim. If you know, you know.
Can't believe Simpson is in Chainsaw Man.
She would be the worst devil of them all. Yo, fuck Swim Swim.
Is there a magical girl devil? Fuck.
Oh, in our world, there would be. There definitely would be one. Enough people are scared of Monica. So yeah, that was very interesting. All those devils come up. I was thinking maybe she has like the name devil or something.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Because she would have to.
Because all she needs is people's names, yeah.
But then, that it doesn't explain why she comes back from the dead. That doesn't explain how she just killed the guy by like looking at him.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. All I know is that her powers, for them to work far away, she needs names.
Yeah. Trying to think of what is a scary thing that requires names.
So yeah, it's she. I feel like she needs something that connects. That, like, the devil needs something to connect to the target's like identity.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's like I know you by name, I know you by face, or something like that. Also, I wouldn't be surprised if to make a contract with the devil, so that's so powerful. I wouldn't. Can we just assume that she like had to give up her soul?
That would explain a lot.
Right. That would explain why she's Makima.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine. Wait. Oh, no. I think I know whatever she gave up.
What?
You know what she probably gave up?
Her emotions?
I was gonna just say her heart. Maybe she gave her heart just like Denji did.
That's very Disney-esque, but yeah, I can see that.
But it makes sense.
Like some Kingdom Hearts stuff, right?
And remember how Denji's all like, herder, damn, all these people died, but I don't feel like shit. or I don't feel shit. Huh, whatever.
Maybe that's also why she is interested in him too.
Yeah,
She could probably
because
just sense like, oh,
like
you also don't have a heart. We're the same.
I'm just saying, like it's very similar.
It'd be pretty cool. That's a good idea. That's a good theory.
Hmm.
Watch it be
That's
nothing that creative.
right. Um. Let's see. Oh, that dude from Kyoto, he was. I know he was like cool at the end, but God, he was such a dick. The entire time he was there, he was low key a dick. Like he had one human moment where he's like, "Yeah, I said all that awful shit about you and to you, but here's a drink. Try not, don't die or whatever."
He was
Like,
cool. We gave him the coke.
yeah, but he was like a dick. Like even the episode before, he came in and he's like, "So you gonna eat that apple?" Like at first, I thought, you know, it's funny because it's like Denji was being like that because Denji doesn't have a heart. What's your excuse?
Mhm.
I doubt you also. I doubt your heart is also missing. I think you're just a dick. Hmm. Uh, but speaking of poor Aki, he for some reason by himself encounters the snake girl,
Yeah,
and the snake girl reveals a new ability, which is the ability to um. What does she do again? Oh yeah, she I guess can take other devils and use them against other people.
collect them
So like
like Pokemon.
essentially, and her snake devil is the Pokeball.
Yeah, that's kind of OP. I mean, I guess it makes
That
sense because it's like the snake swallowed the devil and then like
yeah.
regurgitate. Ah, still kind
Yeah,
of
well,
OP.
no, it doesn't say it takes like forever for you to
Digest it.
yeah, for the snake to digest their food.
Hmm.
So I guess she didn't digest it yet and used the ghost to kind of beat the shit out of Aki. But the fighting animation was superb. And we got to see Aki's new power, which
Hmm.
didn't really help much. Well, it helped a little bit.
I
Um,
feel like it'd be very helpful power for anything but this fight.
agreed. Or maybe power for anyone else but
Hmm.
Aki. Or anyone that doesn't possess a devil, essentially. Um, Also we learn that said blonde woman, she works for the gun devil. She's like a broker for the gun devil.
Hmm.
Essentially, Yakuza people like purchase ammo that the gun devil gives, and she like sets that up, which to me is wild. I'm like, what? The gun devil's just.
He's out here
I
just
mean,
selling guns, man.
honestly, because they were like, oh, he just needs it to like, I don't know, to get money. I guess. I don't think it's to. Well, I would be surprised if it had nothing to do with money,
Hmm.
and just like I feel like it just kind of makes sense to do that, even if for free.
Yeah, it like
'Cause
gets his name
you
out there and stuff, and like it's
exactly,
marketing.
the whole point of what makes the devil strong is people fear the thing. If you sell more guns and people kill with more guns, guess what people are gonna be even more scared of? Guns. So it actually makes sense. Actually super clever. Uh, so yeah, it's very cool, very interesting that we got to learn about that. But yeah. Oh, I'm looking forward to watching Sensei fight. I remember what the dude's
I
name
feel
was.
like he's gonna die. I like. I just have a feeling he's gonna die soon. He
I
keeps
mean,
he's
I don't have
too
I have no expectations.
like they keep bringing him up and stuff, and I just feel like he's gonna die either next episode or is this the last episode? Next episode, yeah, next episode, the last episode. Damn, yeah, I feel like he's gonna die.
Maybe. Maybe after this and after these last couple episodes, I don't expect anyone to live
Yeah,
or die. Oh yeah, looking forward to the season finale. Up next we have Spy Family, Part 2, Episode 13.
Yes. This was also a very good episode. I will
Mhm.
say, as a finale, eh. But because we got a second season of the movie, I kind of forgive it.
We do have a season 2, and to be fair, it does mark a major milestone in the overarching plot.
Yeah, but I feel like
I
they.
understand. I understand how you feel because it's
Yeah.
like, was last episode still like the tennis thing, or
No. Last episode was
that was a shopping one?
yeah,
Right.
with Anya and
Yeah, I
Becky.
think I'm fine with it. I know people probably would want to, except for like the last episode, to be more. Uh,
I just feel like
uh
more eventful or like more.
I feel like you wanted, and more people wanted like more flipping
Not
and.
even that. Like just like maybe. First off, you didn't even have a line this episode. But
Okay, yeah, that's kind of.
that's
They
wild.
said, they said, listen, girlies. After next season, you're gonna wish Yor would shut up. Period.
Yeah, but we didn't see anything from any of the other characters, like Yuri, or not that I need to see something from that. It just didn't feel like this didn't feel like a final episode. I guess is the best way to put
Agreed.
it. Yeah.
No, it's like I get what you're coming from,
Hmm.
because it's like outside of him accomplishing his mission ish.
Yeah, like it was just first contact with the with Desmond, which I mean, at least we got to see how much of a. I would. He's interesting. Desmond's a very interesting character. I guess I could say he's a dick. Yeah, he's a dick to his son.
Yeah, no, he's no Damien's family is trash.
Yeah, oh yeah, they're definitely. Well, his older brother might just be. At least his older brother told his father about Damien. But other than that, yeah, they're all trash.
I mean, he right, and it's not even that I blame the older brother, because the older brother was just like, he clearly learned that from his dad.
Yeah,
So
and I do like the interesting like juxtaposition they have where it's like Lloyd is a better father to Anya, even though Anya's like adopted, but this guy's blood son, he's just like, I don't know this kid. He's just fucking whatever. As long as he doesn't make me look
right,
bad.
it almost made me, which is why this is why I personally love the episode.
Hmm.
Like, when he was talking about Anya and gushing about him, like, it almost made me feel uncomfortable, because he kept asking or implying things that, like, "Oh yeah, our kids, we want to just do all this stuff and blah 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 blah." Meanwhile, everyone in the audience, Damien, Desmond, or well, Donovan, it they're like, "No, he doesn't do any of whatever you're saying right now." Like, he he doesn't. We all know to a degree that Donovan doesn't relate at all to what Lloyd is saying, but he's just like smiling and nodding because, like, what's he gonna do? Admit that he's a shitty dad in
Like,
front of
yes, you're right.
everybody?
I don't know any of that shit. I have never talked to my son. This is the first time I'm seeing him in the past 2 years.
Right, exactly. He's just being polite for the sake of being polite. So yeah, the whole conversation with that was just like, oh, like, and just watching Lloyd kind of tiptoe through all of it, and that's what I like. Like, it was just so, the tension, the nuance of it all.
Hmm.
Um, that moment where Damien was like, in a clear cry for attention because he's a child. He's throwing a fit because he's not mad that his dad's not mad about it, about Anya punching him,
Hmm. I
even
will
though
say
Damien, even though
they do
Damien's
children
over it.
well.
Yeah,
Like
right.
the way children act and stuff. This show does a really good job of portraying it
A
accurately.
1,000%. This is like one of the best portrayals of children in a show.
Hmm.
Even no, no, I was gonna say, even though, like, it seems like they still know a lot than real humans, but
Hmm.
I actually take that back, because this. I let it go because it would make sense that they have like a slightly higher education because look at where they go to.
Yeah, they got the
These are
fancy
they're all
school.
rich people. They're all rich, incredibly rich children. So that's what I kind of expect.
Hmm.
But I love that it's awful. Like you said, it's also offset with the fact that Damon's still a child at the end of the day. So he's gonna throw a fit like that, and Donovan just looks at him, just gives him that look, right?
Oh
He's
yeah, like crackhead look where he's just like. "Bruh."
he just breathes out, and
Mhm.
he didn't. And Damien knows that's a sign to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, they did good job making him intimidating. Because even though he's not intimidating in the sense that he's like a physical threat. It's just like he has like that energy where he's just like, oh yeah, this guy's a
Yeah,
lunatic
like
and he's
yeah,
unpredictable.
he has power,
Hmm.
and everyone knows it essentially. Um, Lloyd really was trying to go to this dude's house, and I'm just like, Lloyd, you're doing too much.
Yeah, cut it,
You're doing
cut your losses.
you're doing too much. Even if Lloyd was doing this to me, come to my house. Da, 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 I would have been like, like, I'm like, it's fine. You don't know. Actually, I don't want you to come. So yeah, that whole conversation, which essentially was my main point, the focal point of this episode, was really done well, in my
It was,
opinion.
and I did like the whole beginning half with Anya and Becky. They have a little cute friendship going on.
That was cute. That was where she thinks that Anya's stalking Damien because she likes Damien.
Hmm.
And she's like, yes, how this is to the resolve that you like him so much. I'll too will stay with you. Don't worry. And then Anya just immediately passes out. So yeah,
Damn, I'm
that
gonna
was
miss Anya till next season.
right. Which is I feel I forgot the release date, what
I
they
think it
said
was
it was.
like spring or summer or something. I think it was like spring for the season 2, and then like the first half of season 2, and then the movies in summer, and the second half of season 2 is in the winter or the fall.
Hmm. Okay, that's what's up. Yeah, I can't wait to see it.
Same.
Oh sure, are we rating it now?
All right, we do have to do that.
Right. I'm like, this is the last episode, huh? Uh,
You want to go
you can,
first or should I?
I can go first.
Are we rating the whole thing? Like, or are we just doing these 13 episodes compared to the? I forgot if we rated the first half of this first
I
season.
feel like we did. I don't remember reading this part by itself. Um, this part by itself, yeah, it's because it's like 13 episodes.
Hmm.
Did part one and part two come out like in succession, or were they separated by like? They were
Well,
separated by season, right?
yeah, the part one was like spring, and then we had nothing for summer, and then this came out in the fall.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna judge this one by separately as well. Maybe if it was like one whole thing, no, then
Mhm.
no. I think it's a solid. It is a solid. We'll go with mm, we're gonna go with an 8. I'm gonna give it a solid 8.
That's good.
It's really, yeah, no. It's pretty good. I'm pretty sure I gave it like a 9 or 9.5.
Yeah,
It's
I'm pretty sure I gave it a 9.5 the first core.
the only reason I'm giving it 8, one, I as only has or been mad about. I will say I'm not a huge fan of the lack of your.
Yes,
Like
more your.
it does impact the season a little more than I thought it would.
Hmm.
Uh, it's like I love Anya, but it's like Anya alone cannot carry this show.
That's
Anya alone
tough
cannot carry this
words.
show. But it's words that I stand by nonetheless.
Mm.
Uh, Maybe I'll give it 8.5 because it's still very, very high up there. Yeah, I'm giving it 8.5 because I'm like, it's still really fucking good. It was still real. It was like I think I was giving it 8 because I was judging it on like a higher,
Hmm.
but that's for episode of the week. I need to judge it against other anime. I would give it 8.5. But yeah, I'm giving it 8.5. He has 8.5. Fiona. Fiona was a great addition. Yuri was great when he was there. Yeah, I just feel like all in all, this season could have used a bit more balance in terms of which characters get spotlights because they all the interactions are just so they're all so great,
Hmm.
and I just want to see more of that interaction like I did in season one, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I get where you're
Yeah.
coming from. I'm also gonna give it a 8.5. I think the first season or the first half of the season was funnier, and it definitely had more like high highs. I think it also had more low lows, like that last episode. But but overall, I think the first half was better. My I like the second half. It was funny. We had some good arcs. Like I love the whole dog arc that started off with.
Mhm. Mhm.
I love Fiona as a character. She was a great addition. I don't
That one
know.
episode with Yuri was
Yeah,
great.
the one episode with Yuri was great. I just feel like it wasn't as cohesive as the first half. Like the first half, I felt like everything was connected and it kept building upon itself. And this half, I felt like it started off strong, then it went down. Then it went out strong, then it went down. Like it was kind of more
Yeah,
rocky,
it just
and it
yeah,
felt not as like. I feel like a lot of these were like stories that were just kind of smushed together, and they weren't necessarily like
right.
connected.
It felt very disjointed.
Yeah, it was very disjointed, but it's still very good. I mean, compared to most comedies, this is easily top 1%. So.
Yeah, yeah. Still very, very good.
Yes. And of course, the music, the animation is fantastic. I'm looking forward to seeing the second season. I was promised more Yor in the second season, so hopefully that comes out.
Right. Um, all right. Up next, we have My Hero Academia, season 6, episode 13. Whew. Mm-mm-mm. So we get Compress's background story, which, you know, obviously was a huge red flag. I'm just like, he was like, when it was called the last stage, I was like, oh, so Compress is dying. Got it. And I mentioned it last episode. I was like, they kind of said those magic, like all this narration coming from him being like, no, I won't let it go down this way. I said, oh no, he's gonna do something next episode that's gonna cause shit to happen. And here we are. I called
Yeah,
it.
he kind of getting fucked up. I know there was one point in the episode where he just started stripping.
Right. Now, what I will say is, and this is what I love about My Hero Academia, because at the end of the day, I did not think he was going to like compress his ass cheek into beads.
Mhm.
I did not see that coming. And I'm just like, girl, how you running around with just like half an ass cheek? And then yeah, it starts turning into that there is this song, and I feel like I brought this up multiple times in just in life in general. There's this one song, it's I forget how it's called. There's a I just wanna rock DJ cause you're making me feel alright. The song kind of goes like that.
Mhm.
And the song is not important. I'm talking about the music video. Is very much homeboy starts stripping off his clothes in said song.
I remember this.
Yes, and then he starts stripping off his pieces of his skin, his flesh, and starts throwing at all the girls who are like dancing all around him. until he's literally a skeleton. It was giving that a little bit. Oh my gosh. If you guys haven't seen that music video, just I wish I could tell you what to Google because I don't even remember the name of the song.
Guy
But I guess
strips his skin off.
no, because I don't
we
want you
are
guys
not
to
responsible for what you find.
right. So maybe don't do that. Maybe start with the song "I Just Want to Rock" DJ. Like maybe start from there. Maybe just start from there. Excuse me. Yeah. So and then we get his background story where apparently he is apparently just Sly Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
His he comes from a descendant of burglars. And shit goes left enough to the point where he breaks out. Um, he allows the others to escape from what's his face, Best Genius, and yeah, and then that allows them enough time for Shigaraki to wake up. And by Shigaraki, we mean All for One. And then
Finally took over the body.
yep, he took over the body, um, blew them bitches back, and simply dipped. He literally was like, "My body, bye."
Yeah, fuck him. He left Toga.
Yes, which was, and that kind of makes me, and this is what I think. I love how they do villains because it's like on the villain side, it's like they have their whole, each of them, they have their own kind of codes and ethics and morals. And we even see this come out because Spinner is like, are you telling me to leave my comrades because this is not what I signed up for? And he was like, yep, that's what I'm telling you to do. It's sacrifice. And he's like, no. So I don't think Spinner left with him. I think Shigaki or All for One just left on it by himself.
Yeah, I think so.
But I don't think we have to worry about Spinner getting captured because, baby, oh my god, which is what I love about the end of this episode. The background music playing, like, just as the camera just pans to all the injured people, showing quick shots of all people who died.
Some more injured than others because they were panning over it. Like some of them were just like little scratches, and then they had like other ones who were like missing limbs.
Limbs wrapped in head-to-toe bandages.
Mm-hmm.
Like Mount Lady is still face down, ass up, with like all these spikes sticking out of her. Like Jesus, like yeah, everyone got really fucked up, huh?
Yeah.
I think the only one who got this unscathed was like what? Spinner, Dobby, Toga,
Mm-hmm.
and the tech guy. I feel like those are like the only four who just came out completely touched.
Yeah. Although I think the tech guy had like a thing fall on top of him, but he's fine.
Right. Mama, if it didn't draw blood, he's fine. So yeah, it was just a very wild, very desperate back and forth. Yep, and damn, I'm kind of sad Compress is most likely dead. Like
Yeah.
that's just uh I don't know. There was something about, I like him being kind of like mysterious, and I do kind of hate that he didn't. I feel like he did not get enough screen time compared to someone like, I don't know, like Twice.
Yeah, that's true. Although
Like
Twice
Twice,
did play a bigger role.
fair, fair, but I don't know. I feel like out of all the honestly, out of all the villains, he got the least amount of like screen time.
Mhm.
Like he was just like, I say a cute quip in the background. Nope, time to do something cool. Bead, anal bead, go. Like no, I don't care what anyone tells me. Those are anal beads.
Very dangerous
Mad,
anal beads. Yet again,
very
I do not propose
dangerous.
to use.
Yes, I'm making the line when I have his quirk attached to it because that's not how his quirk works. So don't worry, you guys are safe. Um, yeah, no, it was a very back and forth episode. Like most of this arc was. So yeah, good episode. Anything to add, Oni?
Nope, that's about it.
Alrighty, let's move on to Marimashita Iruma-kun, season 3, episode 12. Huh.
A lot of trauma in this episode.
First of all, fuck that trauma guy.
Well, that's like the worst ability. It's like the most fucked up
Fuck
ability in the
him.
show.
No, not even for using his ability. It's one thing to use his ability. It's another thing to be like to use trauma so much and be like, oh, well, he fell off the cliff. Kindly shrug and just walk away. Like, damn, what did Iruma do to you that you have to justify it with like almost like not almost that I count that as killing. Like that is killing someone.
Yeah, he tried to.
Right.
Apparently, that's not against the rules of the tournament.
Like you can like, oh, yeah, any violence against them is allowed, but poisoning or I don't know.
Making them kill themselves by showing them illusions is fine.
Yeah. Mm-mm-mm. Absolutely insane. But yeah, but this whole episode in a nutshell is very much like I'm showing you trauma.
Yeah,
Um,
Iruma has his whole thing with his parents, um, and being afraid to leave the island or leave the netherworld and all his
yeah,
friends.
because now that he knows what it's like to be a normal child, well, yeah, kind of. Now he knows what it's like to be a normal child, which is sad because he has to go to the demon world or the underworld just to do that. Why would he go back to well, yeah, abusive parents? I was gonna say I tried. I was like, oh, abusive might be a little hard. Like, no, that's abusive.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so yeah, I understand the fear 100%.
I love the little quip by in the middle of his training arc with Machiko, and she's like, "Are you gonna give up?" He's like, "No, my parents put me through way worse, and he to prepare me for this moment." And she's just like, "No, you just had shitty parents."
Right, exactly. Also, I'm kind of gagged. His after all that training, that which is like I get it. He's supposed to be like Naruto-esque, except way more tolerable.
Mhm.
Oh my god, just 2 arrows? He can only shoot 2 of those arrows? Mama. Just 2 and correct me if I'm wrong, please correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm pretty sure he said he can only fire 2 arrows.
I think so. I don't remember if it was like two. Was it two per day?
I I don't know the amount, but I feel like the way this anime works is like, yeah,
Two
it's
ever.
2, you can only shoot 2 for this whole arc, and that's it.
I
So
mean,
yeah,
he is just learning, so it's like, he'll get better.
I guess. I guess. Um, yeah.
Convenient that it's exactly what he needed to kill the trauma demon, though.
Right. So yeah, this is a good episode for just generally Iruma's character development.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he can essentially stand up to his parents, and he strengthened his resolve to make his life here work, no matter what.
Yes. I'm just waiting for more Clara episodes, is all.
Well, bitch, you better not hold your breath.
I won't.
All right. Yeah, I think that's kind of all I have to say about it, though. It was very,
It was very normal. It was very meh episode to me.
yeah, uh, yeah, not very much. Although I think we find out that like the little dude that he's around, I think his stench is, it's. I think it has
Only
to do with
towards people
like
who hate him. Like he doesn't like.
or scared of.
Yeah. He just reminds me of a Mario character. He just looks like a Mario character.
Yeah, 1,000%. I was hoping he would do something cool and fuck up Trauma Dude, but you know, of course, I was hoping for too much.
They start smelling him and fall off the cliff.
Yeah. Well, until next week.
Yep.
But until then, I'm gonna move on to which one calls it? The Eminence in Shadow. Episode 12. I literally this first half of this episode was so funny. I almost made my episode of the week.
And then what happened?
That's a great question. And then they said, let's kind of just not make it funny anymore. Ish. Yeah, no, it was so funny, and I could definitely see how some of this stuff probably was funnier in the light novel.
Mm-hmm.
Like for example, the red door following Sid. I'm pretty sure that was like way funnier in the light novel.
Mm-hmm.
Probably showed him like getting like frustrated or like trying to do something silly, and then he sees the door in front of him. Um. Also, when the when the Shadow Garden appeared, I was gagged when Alexia took her sword out. I was like, "Bitch, put that sword away. You know you can't do shit.
She's
You
been
literally
training Drew. She can do anything.
trained to what? Wear that dress
Yes.
and the pump. Clearly not fight with the sword. Absolutely not. Mm-mm-mm. And then Beta is just being so fake. And she's like, "Oh," like they quote unquote take her hostage. And she's like, "Oh no, don't take me hostage, no." And then Lexia is like, "No, you actually can kill her." And then Epsilon is like, "Yeah, I understand. I feel you, girl." But she's like, "Yeah, I feel you."
Can I make a petition? Just make the show like cut out Sid and just make the show about the Shadow Garden girls and Alexia. Can we please do that?
Yep. We could just do that. Show would be top tier.
Yeah, this would instantly be like Konosubati.
Oh my god! And then of course, the best part when the assassin comes trying to kill Epsilon, and he just cuts off her shadow titties. It triggers a whole flashback. He's like, "You can have all the power you want. You can do whoever you want to be." And she's like, "No." And then she uses her shadow magic to, I don't know, to reconnect her shadow titties back to her and kill the guy. And then she's like, "Did you see it?" Like ready to kill him if he said yes. That was wild.
Yes. The whole opening of this episode was fucking great.
Oh my god.
See, these are the kind of character interactions I've been wanting to see from the show because like everyone feels so stiff all the time, and they're just like when they're so serious and they're like going after the plot. And I'm like, I don't care about. First, you have to establish the characters for me to care about the plot. But when they do moments like this, I'm like, oh, I love the comedy is there, the characters are there, the comedy is there. We just need more of these fun moments.
Mm-hmm. Um, Agreed. And then we get to the whole like, oh, it's story time, and Alpha's like, yeah, I'm the clone question mark
Mm-hmm.
or the daughter or no, she's the ancestor. I think the ancestor of the original hero Olivia, who apparently just took in a bunch of it was basically just Resident Evil. Except instead of experimenting it on soldiers, they experimented it on children because I don't know anime.
Yeah.
Like, like you ever just took orphans and jacked them up with T cells or Diablo cells, which was kind of terrible. Jesus. Um, Shout out to I did like the witch. The witch, she's super cute.
She is.
Can't wait till she escapes and she's like, okay, time to murder everybody. Like
The one scene where she sees like her younger self crying and she just slaps the
slash
shit out
her.
of her. Like,
Slash her in
stop
the
crying.
She's like, oh, that was pretty harsh. Uh Pretty harsh thing to do to a kid. She's like, oh, it doesn't matter, it was me anyways. And she's like, ah, so it was you. Like, yeah, the whole interaction with Sid and the Switch was great.
Yeah.
Like I would go so to say like the majority of this episode is pretty good.
Yes. Until we get to the end.
Um uh I will I understand what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I did, however, like that one part where they're like, "Ah, we made the what it feels like a ripoff of the Philosopher's Stone." And like, yeah, it literally was like a Philosopher's Stone light, and they find out that like the priest was actually a researcher from the heydays from all those years ago. And then they're like, oh, I guess you turned bald as a result. And then like that whole like little joke when he's like starts freaking out because like the stress of having to like deal with, I guess, running an underground like organization
Mm-hmm.
that deals with immortality stressed him out till he lost his hair. And then the student council president and Elixir just like look going there like, oh, sorry. They're like, oh, sorry I asked. Like but yeah, outside of that.
Yeah. My
And
thing was the whole. I mean, it got very info dumpy and exposition-y, and then I don't know. Like again, for me, when I don't know, maybe it's just me. I get that feeling like when what was that show we were watching that you loved and I hated? Well, I didn't hate it, but it was boring. The detective's already dead.
uh
Well, I love it when it's quippy and funny, but then when it tries to get to the plot, I'm just like it goes in one ear and out the other. Because I'm like, at this point, do I really care about the Philosopher's Stone, and the what was it, the 12 drops or
it's
whatever?
like so yes, I feel like this is it's and this episode is the exact reason why I was a stan for the detectives already dead. Because if you have this much comedy, wittiness, quip, whatever,
Hmm.
and then the rest of it just like stupid story, whatever, I
But
won't
like
complain.
the story still has to make sense. It just doesn't. I feel like
They
again,
they
it.
they
I feel like
killed
I'm watching half.
they killed the demon. They harvest the cells. They tried using its power by injecting the DNA into kids. A bunch of kids died. They eventually were give me the Philosopher's Stone. What?
Okay, I get that, but why though?
Because they want to fight the demons
No, I mean
and
like why any of this? Like what? I like all right. It's like I feel like I'm watching something in the middle of it. Like I can turn on, like imagine watching Fullmetal Alchemist, but you start from like episode 25. Like I can follow an episodic plot where it's like, oh yes, we have the stone and the characters are evil and this guy is, a homunculus or whatever. But and then I'm like, all right, but who the fuck is Edward Elric and why does he care? I feel like that because like as fun as the show is and the characters are, I'm still at the phase where I'm like, all right, but no one's ever explained what Sid is or what Shadow Garden is or why any of this is happening. Like I feel like there's fundamentally like the foundation is not there. Like we're just off in some other area, like the stratosphere, without having the foundations.
Yes, and I a billion percent agree with you. Like as a series as a whole, yes, that's a
Yes.
glaring over.
So like I
That's a
like this
glaring
episode, but
yes.
I can't get too into the plot because the foundation is not there. So anytime it drifts into plot exposition territory, I'm just like, ugh.
Right. So it's like I think for me, how I deal with it is that I just kind of, and I'm not saying this is not me making excuses for the anime.
Mm-hmm.
It's just for me. I just kind of fill in the gaps where I can
Mm-hmm.
and just accept that I don't have the gaps where like whatever I can't fill in, I just accept that I can't do shit about that. Like how did Shadow Garden start? Like she found the orphans that we're going to assume that a lot of these maybe some of these orphans came from this research facility. Maybe, well, probably not. No, because they're probably shut down at this point.
See,
Probably
like
no
I
longer.
get what you're saying, and I can do that for small things, like when we're reading FGO and there's like certain plot points where I'm just like, it doesn't really make sense, but whatever. I'll just imagine it makes sense. I can do it for like things like that, but when it comes to like huge chunks of plot that just feel like they're missing, I'm like, it's harder.
Well, I simply accepted that this end is not going to make 100% sense and just move accordingly. Like,
That's
like
fair.
I'm not debating anything you're saying. You are correct. Everything. And I would say, however you feel about the detective is dead.
That's pretty much
Even if
exactly how I feel about this show. This is the Detective is
I
Dead
would argue,
2.0.
I would argue that the detectives that at least 9 out of 10 times they always. It may not be the time you want them to, but they always come around and answer the question of why X, Y, and Z is happening.
I
Eventually, they get.
guess they
Eventually, get.
eventually, in like the most
Eventually, they all got there.
roundabout, crazy way.
Eventually, they got there. It's
All
just
right, well,
some.
no, I'll say
This is just
at least the Detective is Dead had a baseline. I don't think this show has a
period.
baseline.
Period. Um. Exactly. That. Let me put it this way: the plot holes in this anime, or let me put it this way: the plot in this anime resembles Compress's body right now, full of holes.
Yeah, but
But
I feel like
yeah.
I could take all these characters. Like this is why I want to read the manga now because I'm just like I like all these characters.
Oh, I'm definitely reading. I'm reading
Yeah, I
it.
think I'm gonna read the manga. I guess the show did its job because now I want to read the manga. Because
Right.
I'm like, oh, this would be great if I knew what was going on. I guess I have to read the manga.
Exactly. But yeah, I this episode I was just like, okay, you made the Philosopher's Stone, evil, took it from Olivia, and now, what you call it, Shadow Garden is here to expose. Well, Shadow Garden, who is basically working on their own. Like Shadow Garden is a group started by Alpha. Excuse me, I keep trying to call her Alexis. Started by Alpha to probably just discover the origins, like her origins probably.
Mm.
And well, I don't know. It's probably and also to, like I said, to defeat this cult. I think they just kind of stumbled onto the cult,
Yeah.
and then how? Don't know. But one of the many questions I have for this anime. Um, and now she's like, I'm gonna put this whole organization together and, you know, find out. And of course she did it because she is way more confident than Sid. Um, and yeah, and Sid is just kind of along for the ride. So yeah, that's a thing. Oh yeah, it started the whole thing's. In fact, the whole thing started with after Sid told them how to use their powers, the cult like kidnapped his sister, right? I think that's how they found out about the
Yeah,
cult.
that explains one
Yeah,
person. That
and then
explains Alpha. That does not explain the other 40 members of Shadow Guardian.
oh, how they were all found and their
Mm.
background stories. Nope, nope, no comment on this.
Yeah.
uh, yeah. Well, it is what it is. Either way, this episode, I would just say it was so funny. I'm willing to forgive the original, like the original sin of this whole series,
Fair
which is
enough.
like it doesn't make any
And
sense.
I never forgive. So
Yeah, work. All right. Up next, we have Uzaki wa Usobitai, episode 13, 13, 13.
Mhm.
Um, yo, Yanagi is just so she's so messy. I really live for her. She really became my favorite character.
Yeah, the whole like, oh, you're both drunk. Why not do a punishment game?
Running for the game. Let's take pictures of him naked.
Strip him.
I'm like, first of all, once again, incredibly inappropriate for a 12-year-old to be doing any of this.
I gave up on saying she's 12. She's clearly not 12. All right, she's
Right. No.
17 or 18. I don't care what the show says.
I'm giving her at least 15. Because there's no way a 12-year-old would be doing this or would be allowed to do this. Like
So how old is she supposed to be? 12?
12. I think they said she was in middle school, so I just assumed 12.
Yeah, that's like 12ish. I mean, if you assume she's 12, a lot of this stuff becomes extremely problematic for like across the board.
Yes. Which is
Like
why I just
even her brother's older friends who are just like trying to hook up with her when they're in fucking college or high school or whatever they're in.
yeah, where they're about like a year away from going to college. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like 17. They're like, wait, was your 12-year-old sister? Can we come over?
Right. Maybe she's 13 or 14. I don't know. I'm trying to
Not-
I know as I'm trying to make it as
yeah, we're trying to make it as logical and legal as possible.
right. I think she's probably like 14 because isn't high school like 3 years?
Let me look up. Well, in high school, high school in Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yanagi
Because
Uzaki.
they never talk about a class 4. It's only class 1, 2, 3.
She is 14. She is 14. There you go.
Yeah. Okay. I was like, bam. Ooh, look at
Perfect.
me.
Look at
Look at me
us.
using my skills.
Your
My
math skills.
yeah.
It's still creepy.
A 17-year-old to a 14. Yeah. That's sort of machoto. Like, wait, that's coming from you of all people. Okay.
What? I have a moral compass.
Uh, I know. I'm slightly surprised it just kicked in at this moment.
It's still just a middle schooler trying to date an almost college student.
Mm. But yeah, you won't get you won't get any complaints from me. But yeah, let's see what happens. Oh yeah, and then she sends Ami the pictures of him naked. half naked, which is I'm like, this is so that all this is wrong. All this is wrong. You taking advantage of the
Here
drunk person
comes Drew, the
wrong.
fun police.
Or and you know who's coming behind me? The actual police. It's the fun police and the actual police. Because that is obscene. They have pictures of a dude while he's like naked, a 14-year-old girl taking pictures of him and then sending it to other people. Wild. All of it wild and so inappropriate and so wrong. Um but yeah. And I love the dad just comes in and is just like, "Oh my god, what are you guys
What's going on in
doing?"
here?
Like, girl, hello? Like your daughters are like, well, from his view, your daughters are like about to sexually assault some teenage kid that you got white girl wasted while the mom is just sitting there and giving the okay.
Hmm.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. If if somehow that ever got out to like the news, like in the real world, some shit like that got out in the real, like everyone's going to jail. Homegirl's gonna be, she's not going to juvie, but she probably will go into a foster system. Um, it would be a whole mess. Like this is some Degrassi shit, but it was funny because anime. Uh, And then what happened after that? Oh yeah, they take him home. He does the whole, you know, fake out thing where I definitely knew he was about to pass out. Uh, I was half expecting the dad to barge in on them, and then I thought he was gonna see calls it, see Sakurai on top of her.
Hmm.
Could you imagine? Oh my god! Oh my god! And this, I hope not, because he's just starting to like him, which I didn't think was going to take a while because they had such a good rapport prior to him finding out. So I just thought they were gonna naturally be cool again at some point. Uh, the scene in the in the cafe where Ami is losing her shit. He's like, "Oh my god, are you sure you should be? Why don't you save your money for something like important for you, or like something you're saving up to for your business?" And she's like, "You're right. I'm paying you double. You're not gonna get paid too." And then she keeps talking. Ami just keeps giving more. She's like,
More and more
"Yeah,
money.
yeah. Here's Sakurai share." Oh my god, that was wild. Ami's so great. I love Ami.
Yes.
And then when Sakurai comes in, and then he's like, "Hey, so about last night, I just want to talk about it." And then you see Ami and her dad take out the rice rice cookers. He's like, "Yeah, I forgot everything." And then the moment he says that, they just put it
They put it
away.
back. Yeah.
Yo, I'm like, y'all so this is why I love this series. It's so messy.
Yeah.
Especially season 2 is exceptionally messy.
Yeah, season 2 delved into the drama a lot more, but in a good way. In like a
Mhm,
very good
mhm.
way.
Agreed. Oh my gosh.
Even
I'm
at the
mad.
end where he's like he realizes Uzaki likes him and he tells his friend and he's like, yeah, everyone fucking knows.
Yeah, so Akaki was like, "Yeah, we all know."
Yeah.
And they tried, and then he really tried to pussy his way out of it. He was like, "Oh my god." I I read the bullshit logic he used. He was like, "Ah, to know all this, I'm such a coward, so I'm going to do the right thing and not say
It didn't really make sense.
anything." I right. I'm like, Sakurai, I really like you as a character. Stop being such a bitch, please. Please, please don't be pussy.
Mhm.
But unfortunately, he was pussy because when the beautiful sunrise came and he was holding hand with Uzaki, and he's about to say it, and then he's like, "Nope, can't do it. Oh, let's have more fun hanging out," which was their way of saying, "Bitch, y'all getting a season 3 from us."
Basically, confirmed without being confirmed.
Right, which I'm okay with. Like, I'm
Yeah,
not too mad about it
more
because I actually like
antics.
the series. Right, exactly. So yeah, so it's like next season now. I feel like we can finally like shift focus, which
Mhm.
is cool. It's like we can see how like, oh, is he gonna act weird around her? Um, how's he gonna build up to confess and all that other shit?
Yeah. All right. Are we rating it?
Yes. Yeah, I think
Yeah, I
so.
go first.
You
I'm
know.
gonna give it a 7.5.
Mm.
I think I don't remember what I gave the first season, but anyway, I'm adjusting my grading because I gave 5.5 and 8.5, so I have to scale appropriately. Um, Man, I really like this season. I think I liked it more than the first season actually. It
Even
introduced
though
some
first
really
one has a higher
even
score.
don't worry about that.
Yeah, I'm
Inflation.
guaranteed as higher score.
I'm retroactively changing the first season to a 7. Now this one's a 7.5. Um, I really like the new characters. They're all great. Yanagi's my favorite, but we also got just to see this loud noise is coming from my window. It's like a fucking helicopter flying over me.
Yeah, it hurt. In my mind, it sounded like vibrations.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. I'm like, is there like a bomb drop? Anyway, so I like the new characters. Yanagi's my favorite. I like Uzaki's family in general. They're all just great. I'm not a big fan of the other family, Sakurai's family, but
Mhm.
they weren't there long enough for it to actively take away anything. So I'm fine with that. And yeah, there was just like a lot of really good progress. Like this series felt like there was progression without there actually being progression, which is a good thing because you want to make it feel like we're going somewhere, and we did kind of go somewhere because now they're both
No,
aware.
we did. Yeah,
They're both aware of each other's feelings, but at the end of the day, they're still the
yeah.
same. They're in the same place, which is
They're
not a
not. Yeah,
bad thing.
that's not a bad thing.
Hmm.
Um, I'm going to give it. Like Oni said, out of scaling, I'm gonna give it an 8. I really want to give it an 8.5, but if I give it 8.5, I feel like I would have to bump Spy Family up to a
Damn,
9.
us giving Spy Family 8.5 is screwing the rest of our scaling.
um, let's see. What was I gonna say? Why is it an 8? All right. I want to give it 8.5 only because it's like personally I'm giving it 8.5 because it's so like like this is like the mess I crave for. Like, everyone's being super incredibly messy. It's all mess. It's like the fun hijinks kind of drama,
Hmm.
you know? Like Unagi just meddling in everyone's shit. Everyone's meddling between them. Everyone's being weird. Everyone's it's like all the best parts of dramas, all the best parts of School Rumble, where everyone just doesn't understand what's going on. Like the whole hijinks of Sakurai and Uzaki's dad becoming close without even knowing their relationship to each other, yet talking about each other's lives
Hmm.
and not realizing it. Yeah, like there's the hijinks where they definitely stepped up this this season in a way that it's very Yeah, it's very funny. I still don't know why this show is called a comedy ecchi. There really wasn't
Yeah, it
any.
has some ecchi, but it's very, very little.
I can't remember any ecchi. They had a decent amount of ecchi in this first season.
They did, but this season was more toned down.
I can't remember. Like
It's very low key. It's like mostly boob jokes and I don't know, zoom ins on Uzagi's chest.
right, I guess. Yeah, it wasn't high on the ecchi, but it was just very solid overall. Very solid series.
Mm.
All right, and last but not least, tonight we have Utawarerumono no Hakoro, episodes 27 and 28.
Ugh, this was a pain to get through both of these episodes.
It really was. I was like, yeah, okay, I'm done. And they said no. One more. I was like, oh. Huh. All right. So, and please correct me if I'm wrong, because a lot of explanation happened these episodes. I'll make sure I get it right. And I'm not using the name of any of the gods because I'm just like it's except for maybe like the onkami because that's literally just 3 syllables as opposed to the konyaskan bin ya ish.
Yeah.
Like no, I don't want to. So essentially, the evil wish god, I guess, was sealed within Kuon.
Yeah.
Like, exactly. Like, and that's actually my problem with these last episodes because it's like yes, like it's like I can't answer that 100%. But yeah, it possesses Kuon, and then I did like the concept that the more she wanted things to end, or the more she felt like terrorized by the wish demon and what's happening, it like worked against her and made more wishes, which were all going to be bad wishes.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was actually cool.
It would be cool if they had built up more to it, I guess, is my issue.
Built up like I built up. Please explain what you mean by that.
All right, so I guess my general issue.
Wait, before you continue, are we talking about the episode or are we just talking about this monster in particular? I'm just talking about the power of this monster.
All right, well, no, fine. I'm talking about the series as a whole, so I guess continue.
Oh, right, yeah, no. See, that's
but it's related. Everything is related. That's why. Like this monster is a symptom of a bigger issue I had with the last few episodes.
Understandable. Before we go there, I just want to say that concept in itself,
yes, is cool.
Is cool. Yes. Okay. Now you may say your piece.
My piece is I just feel like the last few episodes have just been like really random threat. Like, have you ever seen? I think it's Lord of the Rings. The ending of Lord of the Rings, where it like ends and it has like 70 different endings. Like it rolls credits and then it gets to another scene that could be an ending, and then it rolls credits, and then there's another scene that could be an ending, and then it rolls credits, and then there's another scene, and because it didn't decide what kind of ending it wanted. I feel like that's this show. I've sat through like 15 potential endings, and I think it ended on the worst ending. Like if it had ended 10 episodes ago, I would have been like, this was a fantastic ending. But now I'm just kind of like, oh, what random world-ending monster are they going to throw at us this week? Oh, it's this thing.
I wouldn't call it the worst ending. That's a bit. I think that's very much. Do I think? Yes, I think at some point they could have stopped. Agreed. That I agree with. I would say the other endings that we had to go through to get here is what kind
they were better. They were better endings.
No.
But that's maybe I wouldn't
No,
think so badly this ending if the other endings weren't
that's why I
better.
disagree. The whole thing with Woshish would not have been a better ending. I don't like that
What thing with Woshish? Which part?
when he gets the mask on, and that whole thing which leads to Haku dying.
Oh, okay,
No,
that wouldn't have been a better ending. But the other three endings before that would have been better. The ending where they reunited where they actually finished the war and reunited the country, that would have been a good ending. The ending where he is with Kuan and they go back to see the original clone whatever guy, the old man, and then he destroys the factory or the facility, and Haku saves the whole planet with the nuclear energy. That would have been a good ending. Like there was like 3 endings that would have been perfect endings.
Yeah.
And then I'm just not a big fan of the whole like Haku sacrificed himself so that Kuan's mother can get a happy ending.
I mean, it wasn't so much for Kuan, but yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Kuan's mom. It wasn't for so much for Kuan's mom, but yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the main character dying but he's with us in spirit type of endings.
I mean, I'd take that over him coming back. I really was like mad when he came.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't want him to come back either. But I like just don't kill him. Just he didn't need to die. Like I feel like him. That's my thing also because I feel like him having to live the double life as Oshtar was enough of a death. It's like a metaphorical death. I feel like that's fine. He didn't need an actual death. Like if he was just doomed to live out the rest of his days under like this false identity and only Kuan knew his true identity, that would have been fine.
That would have been fine. I'm fine with him. I'm okay with him dying. Like I'm fine with him dying.
Yeah, I'm not. I think Kuan deserved a happier ending.
I feel like you're saying this just for Kuan, and
I'm saying it because one because it's cliche. 2 because we see if they didn't give us better endings, I wouldn't feel this way. Like I get
ending up with Kuan isn't cliche. It was all gonna be cliche.
No, well, cliches can be good or bad. I think the other ones would have been fine. This like you can't show me 15 other endings that are better and then be like, okay, and this is the one we're giving you, and I'd be like, no, I like the other endings you showed me. It's like, do I like Big Macs? Yes, but if you put a plate of like, I don't know, 5-star filet mignon in front of my face, and then moved it over, and you put like a fucking fancy turkey dinner in front of me, and then move that over, and I'm like, oh, here's your Big Mac. I'd be like, no, I like those other 2 things more. So give me those.
Really?
You can't just normally I'd be fine with just a Big Mac, but compared to the other things you put in front of me, I want those more.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I can agree. I think we can. I don't agree with you on which ending we liked the most. I can agree that there shouldn't have been as many endings. I agree with that. But I too would have liked to see like I'm not saying I wanted Haku to die. I'm just saying when they
sure
did
sounds like
I'm just saying when they killed him, I'm just like, okay, if he's gonna die, then he's gonna die. And then they brought him back, and then that made me mad, and then he disappeared again. I'm just like, okay, fine.
But that's a non-committal thing to me too, because it's like, why bother bringing him back if you're just gonna kill him again? Like, I feel like there was no commitment to an ending. It was just like, let's have every ending.
Yeah, I don't think they literally should. They shouldn't have like literally brought him back. It should have been like some kind of maybe like a manifestation of him, or some not literally bring him back for one final fight.
I mean, doesn't that make the whole Kuan thing kind of pointless with her evil wish demon inside of her?
What?
Like that whole final episode 27 before the final episode.
Mm-hmm.
Did it do any like? What was the purpose
Of the what? The wish thing?
of anything that happened in the episode because all it did was end with the same set of circumstances. Haku comes back, saves them, leaves again, and now we're back where we started at.
Like I said, it can we dodged the bad ending where the where the wish machine demon goes out of control and eventually destroys the world.
But there was no reason to like if it had ended like if episode 28 just picked up where episode 26 ended before the whole evil wish thing, it would have been natural. Like it would have been nothing would have changed. It doesn't change anything.
Agreed.
Like episode 27 was kind of pointless.
Yes. I
It was a cool concept fight, but and like yeah,
I think
like I feel like
all
that's what
it
it was.
did,
It was just an excuse for a cool fight.
right. All it did was like made whatchamacallit Quan like cool with his death, but she could have done that. She could have been like that regardless. Like she could have been cool in episode 28. Could have been like, I'm always with you.
I would have also been cool with it if like maybe it's this Lucius thing is also bothering me. Like this whole like last 5 or 6 episodes where it was just like we have to do the whole side thing with Lucius and his minions.
Yeah, the whole Waifu thing. It went. I think that's what kind of.
I'm actually more interested in the Kuan like wish granting thing. Like if after they reunited the country, Kuan's wish granting demon went crazy, and then that was the whole arc that we had to go through, and then Haku had to sacrifice himself to stop the demon from going crazy. I'm actually fine with that being the ending, and Haku dying to like save the world or whatever and stop Kuan. And I felt like that would have been built up to better.
Agreed.
I don't know. So I don't like the whole Lucius thing, and I think that's like burning into the rest of the season for me.
Good things about the 2 episodes. I liked the whole Hakuo.
I like that everyone else got a happy ending besides
Right.
Kuan.
I like the whole Haku saying goodbye to her kind of thing with the whole scarf, and she's like, "Oh my god, my baby daddy always right beside me." And Haku becoming the next Kami.
Him becoming a Force Ghost. The Force Ghost ending.
Force Ghost ending. So yeah, he kind of just like takes over for the MC. So it's the whole. It's just, and I get why they did that. I'm not mad that they did that because the whole concept of this series, it's this series is very cyclical and what it does.
Yeah.
One thing they will do, it's like the same things are repeated over and over and over.
Can't wait till the next series. That way we can finally get Kuan and Haku's happy ending. But the new protagonist gets to suffer.
Fuck him.
Fuck that protagonist. I don't care. They can't be better than Kuan.
Whoever saw this from the beginning and like the MC is like, yes, we come back. Yeah, fuck you, Haku. I will say this watching this end makes me want to watch it the beginning because I never saw the one from 2006.
Yeah.
So I do want to watch that now. Yeah, I just feel like there's just so much lore,
There is.
so much lore, so much. Okay, I guess it's our turn. My turn to rate it. I'm gonna give this series man. I'm going I'm going to give this series man, I'm stuck. I want to say I'm gonna give it a 6.5.
Mm,
I really want to
that's
give it a
harsh.
7. I really want to give it a 7 because at the end of it, like it gets a 6.5 because the world building from the last season was so like to build up to like this whole new season was just done so well to a point like when everything started happening in the beginning of the season, it was just like I was in my feels until like episode 9.
Hmm.
But then once that stopped, everything kind of just became a normal like it was just a very average anime. Like very average and kind of more or less the plot, kind of they're very much average in the animation.
おおきに。いつ
Yeah,
も
it's
ご
true.
ひいき。
They
めっ
made the
ちゃ
most
嬉
they
しい
did
わ。
with them $100, which I'm assuming is their budget animation.
Mm.
Um, I'm not knocking it. It's just like yeah, like I said, it's just not anything crazy. It's average. Um, so that's why I had to give a score that's near to a 5 because it was an anime felt average. And I want to give it a 7, but then you said what you said, which I agree with about the different and like that towards the end it kind of fumbled it a bit towards the end. Like that's what I'm saying. Like the ending, they kind of fumbled it. The start was super strong,
Hmm.
such as you saw the last season. So those two kind of negate each other. And then we have this like the middle of it, which was okay. Like it was there. Um let's see. The reason why it's not getting a 7, I feel like they gotta find a way to keep all this lore contained. It's just so much. It's so much to remember, and I don't remember any of it because it's like a gajillion people with like a billion people's names, and the fact that you're taking stuff from what once again I'm assuming is from like Ainu uh nomenclature.
Hmm.
It just makes it even that much harder to remember everything. Like you only make it harder. You make it it's just so hard. I don't want to struggle this hard to know what's happening in my anime. I don't want that kind of struggle. This felt like a lot of stuff. It started feeling very much like a Nasu level of exhaustion trying to like understand what the fuck's going on sometimes.
It's fair. Despite my aggravation at the ending, I am gonna give it a 7. um, I do, like you said, I think it was stronger in the beginning. Um, I love the characters. I love even though it does falter towards the endish, like
Yeah, like if I said it fumbles, it's
it's
not like so bad that I'm just like, oh
yeah,
fuck.
it's not where it's not getting no Guardian. it's
Right.
still watchable and good. It's just it's not. It doesn't live up to the high standards of the initial first few or the first half of the series. However, yeah, the animation is kind of subpar. Um, not a fan of the ending, as I've made clear, so I took off points for that. And I don't know, I just feel like the pacing could have been better. Like, and I think that goes back to the whole like let's have 50 different endings and like conflate a bunch of different plot points together for seemingly no
Yes,
reason.
exactly. And all these plot points are enriched deep in lore.
Hmm.
So if you really don't know what's going on with the whole overarching story to a T, it's just gonna confuse you like hell.
I definitely
Like
feel like
why
this
would
is
I?
binge. You have to binge it. You can't because like
Yeah,
I don't like how much it harkened back to the original series. Like it's
the
cool in the
original,
yeah, like the 2006 version of the series because it's
like
like it's cool if you're a fan of the series, like to see how they all connect. But like I saw the 2006 series in 2006. I don't remember shit about it, so it's like, oh right, yes, this
right.
right.
The angels came up and they're like, Gomen, Gomen Otosan,
Mhm.
like, and I'm just like, what? Your dad? Why are you
Yeah,
calling this demon that was locked in Saigon your father? Hello?
yeah, you need to like go back and watch the 2006 version to get every little detail. I feel like if you watch the 2006 version and then immediately follow it up by binging both of these seasons, which is a lot of work. Because I think the 2006 version was also like 26 episodes. Well, yeah, if you need to be like, you need to renew your lore club membership to Utawarerumono. And if you're caught up on all the lore bits, then maybe this will be a really rewarding series. But yeah, it's still
Yeah.
enjoyable, you know?
Yeah.
I'd still
It's
consider it
enjoyable.
above average for a adventure anime,
Yeah,
action
agreed.
adventure.
It's like the lore, it's like having the Switch lore, it hurts, but I also appreciate it.
Hmm.
I appreciate it more than I dislike it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think on that note, we are done with the podcast, and we are done with the podcast. Yeah, I know.
Yes, a
I nothing else
super
to
long
add.
episode.
Jesus.
Well, I'm going to take us away. So, guys,
Uh,
if you enjoyed this episode of the Waifu Wars podcast, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe so you get all the episodes as they go every week. If you haven't already, do follow us over on Twitter, follow us on Twitch, and join the party on our Discord. If you'd like, you can even become a channel patron or channel member, and get yourself some access to our amazing benefits like access to our members only Discord channel, the Midnight channel, and Mementos. And you can join us for live watches, and you can vote on what show you want us to watch in the upcoming season. We actually will be having that anime preview out soon, so you guys can vote on the show that you want us to watch if you're a member, and vote on also what we will watch for the live watches. So if that sounds interesting to you, you know what to do. And Drew, you know what you want to say before my brain deep fries.
uh, thank you guys for another year. Thank you to everyone who supported the podcast. We really appreciate you guys. Um, can't wait for next year and for all that entails. And it's only gonna get better from here, bitches. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I hope you have a wonderful and happy and safe new year.
And I do as well. Until next time, this has been Soberoni, and
Dooby doo.
catch y'all later. Later.
Bye.